Good morning, LKM. Happy Thursday, everybody. We're back with Patti Alvarez is joining us, 7:48 a.m. Patrick Reynolds, my co-host today.
And
Patti is host of The Good Soul, airs every Thursday here on WSIC as well, and also owner of Good Soul Hot Yoga Studio. Patti, thanks for joining us today. Come and hanging out with us early this morning.
well, thank you for having me. And I'm a morning person,
I
so
love
it's
that
a
you're
win-win.
I love that you're a morning person. I'm more of like a mid-afternoon, sloth is really where I hit my peak.
I have excess for eyes after like 7:30.
Oh, yeah. No, I do go to bed at a good, nice 9 p.m. bedtime. It's my favorite. Yes.
Sometimes it's daylight when I get into bed this time of year. It's
Oh,
kinda
yeah.
sad.
I know, with the sun going up to early. Yes. But Patti, you are the owner of Good Soul Hot Yoga, but also the Good Soul show that we do here every day. And I just wanted to bring you in. It's been a while since we've had you on here and just talk all things you, really, is
Oh
what I
my
want to
God.
get to know. So tell us about what's going on with the show that you do every Thursday.
Well, it's still continues to be a learning process. And I've kind of folded my husband in a lot because it seems that we're getting a lot of really positive
Shout out,
feedback.
Manny.
Yeah, way to
Shout
go,
out.
Manny.
Yeah,
He does a
hello,
great
hello.
job.
Listening.
I know, he's home in bed or probably listening, but
Get the coffee on, man.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes.
exactly. It's been a lot of fun. We started out with a concept of trying to bring out the good in people by kind of highlighting their humanity through simple conversation. And it's turned into just, I always say, kind of like Oprah. Like, we talk about everything and nothing. I would talk to Mother Teresa and I would talk to my daughter about moving to Portland and
Yes.
everything in between. So it's
Yes.
just about real life and good chats.
So, yeah, you guys are in an interesting, I watched the show just last week. You guys are in an interesting phase right now with the empty nesting
Yes.
coming up. So this
Yes.
is like full on empty nest because
Yeah.
your children are older. How old are your
Yeah.
children?
So Molly is the youngest, and she's 24.
Okay.
Rachel's 26 and local, and Jesse is 30 and local.
Okay.
So,
So
yeah.
those two stayed close by.
Yes.
But then
yes.
it's your youngest that just moved?
My youngest.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
like full on empty nesters now. What is
Full
that? What is that like for you guys?
It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, let me explain that we have a very modern family situation. So Manny and I are a second marriage. We've been together for 12 years. So Jesse and Rachel are with his first marriage. His ex-wife, Joanne, happens to be one of my closest friends,
wow.
which is really good. It makes it really convenient
Yes.
for holidays and birthdays and such. So they're local, both of them. So Rachel has her master's in psychology, and she's a therapist locally. And Jessie has her bachelor's in psychology, and she manages an office, a psychology office. Molly is studying to be a naturopathic doctor and just moved to Portland for 4 years. And to get back to your question,
Yes.
what is empty nesting like?
Yes.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
So it's fun for you guys, but I bet it's tough seeing your youngest too move so far away.
Tough is not
Like
the word.
mine, like Patrick's daughter, they're in college now. So like they're gone. And last year was my daughter's first year in college. And it was really, really rough on me. And I feel like being that her dad and I divorced several years ago, we've done the shared custody thing and the back and forth. And I was like, I'm totally prepared for this. But she was on the other side of town. And now she's on the other side. It's a 3-hour drive versus a
20
20-minute drive if she needs me. And so just look, now Bill's trying to make us
Someone
fry.
chopping onions.
And
Yeah,
it's just different. And for yours to be a plane ride away,
Yeah. So same. Molly's father is a professor at the University of Alabama. So she went to Bama. I don't think I batted an eye. I was like,
Really?
see ya, as
Yeah.
I pulled away. Like, I did not get sad. And then she was home for COVID right away. She went in 2019. So 2020 COVID hit. She was home right away. Went right back that same summer of 2020. But I don't know. We were very Thelma and Louise too, like you and your daughter. I saw your post last
Yeah.
week where it was her and I against the world. Then Manny and I met, fell in love. But and as close as we are with everybody, she gets along great with her stepsisters. It's still like this her and I thing, right?
Right.
So when she moved back after she graduated from Bama, we had this full year in our new house, and we've been having so much fun. She did her first year online. They gave them the option at her school to do that since COVID. And it was great. She's engaged now to Squeaky is her fiance. He's a Salisbury fireman, but he will be a fireman in Portland eventually.
Okay.
So he leaves on Saturday. He's meeting her out there. Then anyway, to make a short story long, I was sick when she left on July 7th. It was
Yeah.
like I got, when you get your heart broken
Yeah.
and like your skin hurts, like I was almost borderline in the fetal position. If I were talking about this 2 weeks ago, I would literally start crying, and you guys would be like, "Oh, Patti," like it's so awkward. I would be standing in the studio lobby, like crying in like new students' faces.
Yeah.
But I think the menopause isn't helping.
Oh,
right?
well, women of a certain age get a little emotional sometimes too. We understand that. Yeah, we get that. We get that.
But I'm very, very proud of her.
I know you are.
And it's exciting. And there is a lightness to having nobody leaving dishes in the sink or having a messy room. And Manny and I are definitely like newlyweds and have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He's a lot calmer, I feel like, when it's just he and I.
Just the two of you, yeah. So we like buy no groceries anymore. We don't. So Katie popped in unannounced one weekend and she was like, "There is no food here. Are you okay?" And I was like, "I bought food for 18 years. I don't have to anymore."
You get a big raise too, right?
So I was like, "We have rosé, we have cheese crackers and prosciutto, and that's about it." Yeah.
And Uber Eats.
Yes.
Anything out of a container.
Anything out of a container for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So the show, it's going well. We love listening to the show.
Oh, thank you.
But if someone hasn't listened to the show, you said, those conversations that you have are just so special, what you guys are doing. What is it that you hope someone gets when they are listening to The Good Soul?
Entertained, inspired, and somehow enlightened based on the topic. I would say inspired to kind of elevate, if it could expose somebody or open their eyes to their own passions and dreams, if it could make them love their husband a little bit more by seeing the way Manny and I interact. And mind you, my husband is on his best behavior when we're on camera. It's not always that. It's not always that pleasant. Yeah. But
my man.
Yeah. I always say I bring up really sensitive topics on the air because I know he'll handle them the best.
Oh, this is the time to break down those arguments that maybe you had. We'll just bring them. Yeah, maybe I need to bring my husband in.
You should. It's great.
Patrick, you're out. Rob, you're in.
Yeah.
We'll just go through our therapy session live on camera.
I think I could use this program. I've listened to The Good Soul before.
There you go. No, I love The
Patrick.
Good Soul too. I enjoy listening to it.
You.
You guys do a great job. I love when you have the guests on, but I love the conversations that you and Manny have because they are just these honest and open conversations that you can have with somebody that maybe would spark conversation with your partner, your friend, or something like that. So just give you ideas, help you kind of brainstorm some things that maybe you should be talking about.
Yeah. And I think part of, if you think of like a Theo Vaughn or a Mel Robbins or a Call Her Daddy, like all these things, these reels we get stuck watching, it's always just simple chats. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing profound. And for me, I don't claim to be a prophet or any type of, psychology genius or Tony Robbins, but for me to kind of be, I do consider myself an aficionado of self-help. And since I was 17, 16 years old, I've been reading Tony Robbins and, Dale Carnegie and all kinds of different, and I want to share that experience of curiosity and how to kind of live as my highest self with the audience. So to have on, if I could have been, God, in a perfect world, to have on like a Tony Robbins or somebody, like help me help myself. Yeah. It's like if I ever am praying, or when I'm praying, I should say, one of my biggest mantras is, do your work through me and allow me to live as my highest self. And I think that's part of, what the goal is for the show. So.
Do you have a favorite conversation that you've had with a guest or with Manny? Do you have something that you really, that you thought this is why I do this?
Yeah, believe it or not, episode 2. Yeah. Episode 2 would be, I would say, Lucky in Love. Because it really, I'm getting goosebumps. It really just told me, wow, like this is exciting for me. And I felt as though a lot of people were paying attention. Now, of course, you start a podcast and we have a following at the studio, you get all kinds of views in the beginning and all of a sudden they start going down. Right. Then I have Lizette Totillo of Blue Monday on. I'm like, they go right. I'm like, I gotta have more famous people on. But I believe in building the integrity of, we are still doing push-ups. We are still getting kind of honing in on our skills, and like any new endeavor, business or what have you. I don't plan on getting rich off this anytime soon, but I am in this for a long haul, I think, and I want it to be a slow burn. Yeah. And who knows, maybe someday I will be the next Joe Rogan or a female version of that. Yeah. So that's the goal.
You never know. So dream guest on the podcast, who you got?
Oh God, depends.
You can pick a few. You know, I'll make you pick just one.
On a personal level, not dream. We're going to do definitely my husband's ex-wife, who's I think that people are fascinated.
That is fascinating.
We're like in Micaiah's like singing, and people are like, and we're like, guess what? I'm her ex-husband's wife, and everybody flips out. And they're like, how do you do that? So her, I mean, any of my heroes. I mean, it depends. It depends now. Every celebrities, I think a lot of celebrities are going a little crazy lately. So some of them I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to.
Maybe they were on the list and now they're off
they're
the
not.
list.
No, but let's say like, of course, Madonna. Tony Robbins has been an all-time hero of mine. I mean, my whole life I'm actually listening to the old Theo Von and him right now as I was driving here. Yeah. So that's a good question. Tony Robbins, and yeah.
Yeah. And then other shows that you listen to too. That I think that's interesting to talk to somebody about who does a podcast or does a show to see who they listen to, because you do need to get, thoughts and inspiration. So what other shows are you listening to right now?
Absolutely Call Her Daddy. Yeah. And not because I want to be like her 30-year-old, F-bombing.
Right.
But I think she's got a great way of connecting with the audience. She's asking the right questions. And I think her personality, I think part of the fun of it, and anybody could sit and have a conversation, I think part of it is, of course, you having like a little bit of charm and kind of being like getting people excited. So Call Her Daddy, Mel Robbins for her way to be direct, and of course Theo Von. Yeah. For his.
Those are great ones.
Yeah, I want to be a guy Theo Von, a girl Theo Von.
That's right. All right, Patty, hang around with us. We're going to talk to you some more. We're going to talk to you some more after the national news break, and we'll be right back with more. Good morning, LKN 806. Patti Alvarez joins us. This is her music for her show, The Good Soul, with Patti and Manny Alvarez that join us every Thursday. Thanks for sticking around for another segment with us too, Patti. Love it whenever you're here in the studio with us.
Thanks. I'd stay all morning.
I know, because you do your show from your studio, Good Soul Hot Yoga is where you do your show from live. Or not live, you pre-record, but...
Pre-record, yes.
Pre-record. But
Tuesdays, 4 to 5.
Yes, but you air on Thursdays here on...
Tuesdays.
Oh, Tuesdays. I'm sorry. You're on Tuesdays.
Good.
I'm sorry. I get the schedule mixed up, but you're here on Tuesdays with us. I do want to mention, though, the Good Soul Hot Yoga is your business that you run. Yes. Do you run that by yourself? Manny help you with that?
No.
Or it's just you?
Heck no.
No, he's
Once
not.
in a while, I'll come in and like install the Ring camera or, change like a fluorescent bulb.
But that's all you. So what is it about hot yoga? Because we've talked before, and you've done a variety of other businesses that you've had in your life. Yes. So what was it about yoga, and specifically hot yoga, that was like, this is it. This is what I need to be doing?
Well, my first love was fashion. Okay. I come from a family of Italian women. My aunts were, most of them, seamstresses, and very glamorous, beautiful women. And my father was an entrepreneur, so you kind of stick those together. And I created a clothing store in my early 20s, mid 20s, called Funkin' Standard Variety Store, which was quite successful. So we had 3 stores in New Jersey at one point, 2 at the same time. And so many things happened in my mid 30s. I had a very charmed life. I lost my mother. I had a house fire. I had a divorce. I had all kinds of things kind of come crashing down on me, and that will do a job on your stamina. The business ended up kind of folding, I guess you would say. And at that point, my father was ill, and I was kind of working with him, and I had a juice bar business on the side. And all through this, I had a passion for yoga. Also spin instructor too. So I'd have a line of 30 people on Black Friday. I'd be like, gotta go teach a yoga class. Yeah. And like my dad'd be like, where are you going? Yeah. So anyway, we always turn our passions into, I believe, our vocation. And if we can learn to monetize and serve the world, God, what a perfect storm. So that's what I did. I ended up meeting Manny, falling in love, deciding, not on a whim, but kind of unexpectedly, to move here. I fell in love with the Lake Norman area when I would visit him here. And as I'm planning on kind of moving here, I emailed the owner of Bikram Yoga Lake Norman. Her name is Amy Clement. And I said, listen, I will clean your toilets or buy your studio or anything in between. I'm moving there and I'm going to need something to do. And I got here, and within a short amount of time, she came to me and said, I want to sell the business. And that's how I ended up buying the business.
How long ago was that?
2015. So I came in at 2015, moved here, and bought the business in 2018. So I
Okay.
taught with her for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just been just a great community that you've created too. Is that kind of the idea that you had behind it, or what was your idea? You just loved yoga, hot yoga
Yeah.
specifically, but the community that you've created around the
Yeah.
people there, I think, is very, very special.
It's special. I think any business, any group of people that get together, you're with people every day. They do become like your family. But people come to yoga typically in need. Either it's an injury, it's an addiction, just survived cancer. Nobody comes to yoga like, yeah, I'm going to yoga. I mean, once in a while, I want like a washboard ab or like a Beyonce booty. But for the most part, they come to us I would say they crawl in the door and they do cartwheels out the door.
Oh, I love that.
It's really great to see literally in real time somebody like walk in like hunched over. They'll take a class and they'll leave. A lot of them cry, whether it's a hit class where we're playing music and flashing lights, or it's a mellow, I'm taking a nap class. The emotion it brings out, it really is transformative. And, we're not pushing any specific religion or anything. Just to me, I always say we're just helping people to live as their highest selves. The community, yes, unbelievable. I mean, we have, we share love, we share loss, we share, tragedy. I mean, through COVID, we kind of have each other, and it's great.
Yeah, and it's not just for ladies, Patrick. Guys do yoga too, right?
Absolutely.
I have.
Yes.
I have taken yoga classes.
You've taken yoga classes?
I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I remember my first yoga class was at a studio in Statesville.
Okay.
And I'll admit, I went in there probably with typical guy attitude because I exercise, I work out. This will be cute. This will be nice. This will be fun. I very much underestimated the workout and exercise function of a yoga class. I left that studio, my shirt, you could have wrung it out with the sweat that I poured out. I go, oh my goodness, I didn't lift a single weight. I didn't run at all, but what a workout. And I've taken several classes. I'm not a regular yoga guy, but I have taken several in my life. And now in my workout routine, I just do it at home. I have a yoga day. How I go through like upper body, lower body, squats, deadlifts, bench, and I got a routine. Takes a few days to go through. One of those days I stop, I don't lift a darn thing, and I do a yoga and stretch day. Yeah. And I think just the older you get, that's much more important. But I have to stop and build that right into my workout routine. And I totally admit, moves from yoga class. The downward dog, the pigeon. Is one of my greats for my hamstrings. It's like after a deadlift day, the pigeon, stretching out the hamstrings. I'm a big fan of yoga.
So do you do it every day? Like you'll do upper body and then will you do like stretching after you lift? Because you should take a few minutes to just do that.
Yeah, I do. It's like whatever I do, like alternate upper and lower bodies, but it's all with weights. And I do stretches after. But then I roll through like, there's different routines I do. It takes me a few weeks to go through the entire routine, just depending on the day. And then at the end of it, there's a day I pause. I don't touch the weights, but I'm in the gym and it's all yoga, just stretching. I'm on a mat.
Come to Good Soul, man.
Where
Come
is it?
on.
Where is it?
It's right in the race park, right in like I always say in the rectangle of Mooresville, like right behind Lowe's Foods and Lowe's Home Improvement is all kinds of buildings and stuff.
Are you across from Motec?
Right near there. Right near there. Yeah, by Ferguson's. Like Ferguson's is the best way to. Right in the center of the rectangle.
But it's right there where all the race stuff is.
Lakeside Park in Mooresville.
Yes, exactly.
Actually, used to be used to be much more race stuff in there. Different conversation, but
yeah.
I know what you mean.
So what I like to say is your dog even knows to get up. Every time your dog wakes up in the morning, it knows. So think of like a wool sweater when we sleep at night and you get a wool sweater wet and the fibers kind of come together. Yoga is, really pulling things apart. So it's lengthening the muscles, strengthening the muscles. So if you have to quick turn, you don't throw your back out like most of us do over the age of 50. Yes. Usually people come in and they're like, oh, I threw my back out. And they're like, literally, I was picking like the remote control up off the floor. Like it was nothing big.
There's something about, after you past that 40 mark, 45 mark, you're like, I can't sneeze without needing,
No.
4 to 6 weeks of rehab.
I'm not going to say I'm too much of a lady to say what my girlfriends and I say when I sneeze. All the things that happen.
Yes,
but it's bad.
Family show.
Yeah, it's a family show.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Well, check out Patti Tuesdays on the Good Soul, and then stop by Good Soul Hot Yoga. You can check her out at goodsoulyoga.com. Thanks,
Please
Patti.
do. Yes.
Thanks for hanging out with us
Thanks
today.
for being here. You guys are great.